All right, guys, here we go. Week 3. So, starting off our Monday with some upper body work. We're going to go into our strict press, 3 rep max to start. Take about 4 to 6 sets to build up to that. And then we're just going to drop down, go to a 3 by 3 at 70 to 75% of that weight that we established. So, you're basically trying to get as heavy as possible for a set of 3, and then we're going to drop down, do some sets at a lighter weight, really emphasizing the positioning and really getting into that like strong lockout position. I would say really try to get quick on the way up, so like drive that bar hard and fast overhead and then control it back down to the shoulders. So overall you're probably doing somewhere between kind of 6 to 8 or 6 to 9 sets total of presses. The first 4 to 6 are to build up to your 3 rep max, and then we're going to do a 3 by 3 at 70 to 75% of the 3 rep max that you establish. And you got 20 minutes to work on that. So, goal is to build some upper body pressing strength. And then our workout is going to be a strength endurance workout where we're going to do some Olympic lifting and some gymnastics. We got a 5 round for rep workout, power cleans to start for 1 minute. So, these are meant to be at a little bit of a heavier weight, a challenging weight that we can keep moving at. I would say be able to get somewhere between 5 to 10 reps done in a minute. And then we're going to go into ring push-ups, and you're going to try to get as many ring push-ups done. Goal isn't to be scoring like 20, 30 reps in every minute. We are going to be on the lower end. So when you go to the power cleans, 5 to 10 reps, somewhere around that rep range. And then ring push-ups, you'll probably be able to do a little bit more than that just because of the nature of it. But if you're around like, let's say 10 or a little bit more than that, you're probably in a good range. If you're only doing like 1 or 2 in the minute, then it's probably a little too challenging. So just make sure you kind of regress that progression a little bit. Though we're trying to be, I would say on average, 8 to 12 reps for each of those movements per minute. We want to be a little bit more in the strength realm than we are in the endurance realm. So make sure it feels challenging, like each movement feels challenging or every rep feels tough. You do have a 1 minute rest, but it's not a full rest. So make sure you're not like completely emptying the tank. You're managing your pacings ahead of time. So when you get to that 5th round, that's where you can kind of let everything go and really empty the tank at that last one. But good little workout to start Monday off. And then Tuesday, we're going to continue our skill work with the double under. So this is your chance to practice every 90 seconds for 6 rounds. Either A, work on 60 seconds of practicing your double under technique, or if you're in the category that has double unders, we're going to do 10 to 50 unbroken double unders, just focusing on our technique, getting that coordination down, hand positioning, all that. After that, our workout is going to be more of a endurance conditioning type workout. So these movements today, try to choose progressions that will challenge more of the cardio than it will challenge the strength. So it should be a little bit less intense in the strength category and more focused on the cardio aspect. So this one's a 4 round workout for time. You got 30 minutes to work through it, 15 pull-ups, 30 air squats, 45 cal row for the guys, 30 for the ladies, and then 25 burpee box jumps, burpee box jump overs. So first movement, pull-ups, be able to do this in about 1 to 2 sets. So if we need to go with ring rows or if we have pull-ups, we can definitely do that today. Air squats, we just want to keep a good, consistent pace going for those. Rowing, steady pace, and then we get to the burpee box jump overs. This one is going to be a little bit of a higher heart rate activity. So we want to be steady with it. Do 1 rep. As we jump over that box, just kind of assess where you're at. Does it feel like you're redlining? Then slow it down a little bit. If you're like feeling really easy, maybe bump it up a little bit. You kind of want to be at that threshold where you can keep moving, but you're not going to empty the tank. Also, don't get fooled by that first round. We do have 4 total rounds. So this is a longer workout. We just want to be sustainable in this workout. So when you finish your first round, check the time, see how long that was, and see if you can manage that pace across the 30 minutes. If you get 3 rounds done in this and you're working your 4th, that's okay. If you get all 4 done, that's perfect. If you know you're going to get stuck maybe on the first round, I would definitely regress some of the movements. And if that's not going to do it, then definitely regress the reps as well so that you can build the skill of conditioning for this workout. So going into from a higher time domain, lower intensity, we're going to go back to a shorter time domain and higher intensity on Wednesday there. We got our skill work. So we're going to practice snatching, tall snatches, just like the last week, and then our high hang snatches or dip snatch. And we're going to continue to get really comfortable with those overhead positioning, the coordination, the muscle memory of how to actually do that motion. So that'll be the focus every 90 seconds, the first 5 rounds being 3 tall snatches, and then the next 5 rounds being 3 high hang snatches. Some of you guys have already been in the program there, so just focus on getting your technique down. And if you're good, then we can add some weight, especially if it's feeling good this week. If you're new to the program, just get really familiar with the movements first with either a PVC or a MT barbell and just get comfortable with it. Workout's going to also include snatches, so this is a good way in the beginning to prime those systems up, those motor patterns up before we go into it. So if you're good with snatching and snatching from the floor, then we can definitely do that for today. If we don't have that, then we can break that up into a high hang or a hang position, just so that you're at that appropriate level for yourself and where you're at in your journey with these movements, so that you can progress the best and not have to jump into it from a 0 to 100 kind of approach. So snatches are super technical. So when we have them in this workout, let's choose a progression we're confident with. We are going to start with 21 in that first round, and then we're going to go into 5 200-foot shuttle runs. So 100-foot run out and 100-foot run back. 5 of those. Then we're going to go into the next round, 15 power snatches, and then 5 200-foot shuttle runs. Last round, 9 power snatches, and then 5 200-foot shuttle runs. So the shuttle runs stay the same. The power snatches are what we're going down in reps. And this workout's going to be more about barbell cycling, the coordination, the skill of it when we do this one. So when you're doing this workout, like I said, choose a progression where you have good technique, the form. You can focus on the positioning, not something that's like way out of your skill level and you're kind of like throwing the bar around with no control. So keep that in mind, because this is meant to be done at a little bit of a higher intensity for this workout. Then polar opposite, Thursdays, we got AMRAP 30 for this Thursday, 500-meter row, 10 alternating pistol squats. Totally forgot we haven't been programming this one in, so gonna bring that one in, and a good one to work on balance and our single leg strength. We're going to go into 10 ring rows, 50 single skips, and then 20 sit-ups with a 1-minute rest at each round. The goal of this is to be consistent. So look at how long it takes you to do that first round. And in that minute, kind of like assess how hard it was, so that the next minute you can kind of like tailor your approach a little bit better, whether it's going a little faster or a little slower or just maintaining. The idea in this one is more about keeping the same time per round than it is about trying to get as many rounds as possible. So I don't want you to rush, let's say, the first 2 rounds, and then you're going to burn out and you can barely kind of last the second half of this workout. I'd rather you be moving consistently in this one. And that 1-minute rest is built in there just to allow you to have some rest, but not a complete rest. So that means we're not going all out on every round. So endurance and consistency are going to be the key to this one. If you need to break some reps up, definitely do that so you can maintain it. Going into our Friday workout, we're going to do our deadlifts to start, 6x3. Just like last week, we did a 5x5. This time we're going to do 6x3, going a little heavier. 3 seconds on the way down. Touch and go is all good. The goal of this one is either, for some of you guys, might be just getting the movement patterns down, or might be about challenging yourself and going a little bit heavier and trying to make all those sets challenging. So choose your own adventure depending on your experience level, and also talk to your coach to kind of get a better idea of what you should be focusing on for this one. Then from our deadlift, we're going to go into our workout. This one is a upper body strength and endurance challenge workout. We got wall walks, farmer's carries, and dual dumbbell ground to overhead. So the wall walk and that farmer carry combo, personally, that's going to be a lot of kind of shoulders and grip that are going to be challenged. And then our dual dumbbell ground to overhead, we're getting a little bit more cardio in there, but we still have that grip component to it too. So a lot more upper body in this one. And the rounds are short, so that means you can kind of speed it up a little bit, or like you're going to get through a lot of rounds in these 10 minutes. Pick progressions that will challenge you today. So if you have the strength and the skill to be able to do 50s or 35s, definitely do that. If not, then choose something that will challenge you while you still keep good technique with these movements. Really good one. I'm excited to see kind of how this one goes. It's the quick rounds that will start to kind of accumulate. So it's not too much time focusing on one movement, but it's the transitions and getting up and off the ground, trying to move quickly, and then trying to keep that fatigue handled, especially the grip and the shoulders in this one. So good one to finish off your Friday. And then going into our Saturday workout, we're going to be doing some skill work to basically prime up for our workout. We got every 2 minutes for 3 rounds, 3 muscle cleans, 3 front squats, 3 tall power cleans, and 3 hang cleans from there. So these hang cleans are meant to be power cleans. I'm going to just type that in there. So hang power cleans. And the goal is to just prime up our movement patterns for squatting and for the barbell work that we have, because our workout is 2 rounds for time, 50 hang power cleans, and then 50 wall balls. So this one is just straight up muscle endurance. We're going to be doing the same muscle group and the same movement pattern. So the endurance of those muscles are going to be challenged in this one, just because it's such a big set. 50 hang power cleans, 50 wall balls. I'd go into it with like a plan of how to break it up. So maybe sets of 10, sets of 5. That way you can keep a good pace in this one. I would say in the 20 minutes, try to budget to get each round done in 10 minutes to get done underneath the time cap. But I know some of you guys are elite. You'll probably crush that time for today's workout. It's a good one to get sweaty with on a Saturday there. So once we're done Saturday, Sunday workout, fun one, partner WOD, 50 rounds for time, 4 cal row, 3 push-ups, 4 cal bike, 3 pull-ups. So body weight movements and some machine work. This one is a lot of transitions, so it's quick. We got to have somebody ready for that next movement. So once you do the row, have someone ready to do the push-ups, and then the next person does the bike, and then the row, or the pull-ups. So you can keep somebody always ready for the next rep. There's going to be a ton of transitions, and we want to be trying to keep that intensity high. But be careful, don't get fooled on the row or the bike. Don't start sprinting, because that sprint and then break really gets fatiguing over time. So just try to have a smooth transition from one movement to the other. Overall, the goal of this workout is going to be endurance. So straight up, we're just trying to work on that conditioning over a long period of time, and we have our friend to work with, so that's going to help add some breaks in there to help you sustain your pace. Hope you guys had fun with week 3, or at least if you're watching week 3's workouts. Hope this gets you excited for this week's set of workouts. You'll go into it with a good mindset and knowing kind of what to expect. Other than that, we'll see you guys next week for the next set of workouts.